On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport, bound for Beijing, China. On board were 239 people, including passengers and crew members. But just 40 minutes into the flight, MH370 vanished from radar screens, initiating one of the greatest aviation mysteries in history. Despite extensive searches and numerous theories, the disappearance of MH370 remains largely unexplained. Join us as we delve into the known facts, the search efforts, and the many theories surrounding the lost flight. The final moments of contact. At 12:41 a.m., MH370 took off without any issues. Its first 40 minutes in the air were routine. The plane was in contact with air traffic controllers, and everything seemed normal. But at 1:19 a.m., the last verbal communication was recorded from the cockpit. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, the pilot, signed off by saying, "Good night, Malaysian 370." This was standard, as the flight was about to enter Vietnamese airspace and switch to a different control center. However, just 2 minutes later, MH370's transponder, the device that sends location data to air traffic control, was turned off. Without this, the plane effectively vanished from civilian radar screens. Military radar briefly tracked the plane turning westward, away from its planned route over the Malaysian peninsula. Then it disappeared entirely from radar. The search begins. As news of the missing flight spread, an international search and rescue mission began immediately. Teams from Malaysia, Australia, China, the United States, and other countries worked together, searching the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea where the plane had last been tracked. Days later, satellite data provided a breakthrough. Investigators found that MH370 had continued flying for several hours after it disappeared from radar. The plane's automated systems continued to ping a satellite, indicating it was still in the air. Using this information, experts determined two possible flight paths, which were referred to as the Northern Corridor and the Southern Corridor. However, further analysis suggested that the plane likely headed south over the Indian Ocean, a remote and vast area where no known debris from MH370 was found at that time. The Indian Ocean search efforts. With the search now focused on the southern Indian Ocean, efforts grew more challenging. This region is one of the most isolated parts of the planet, with depths reaching up to 4,000 meters in rough weather conditions. The official search, led by the Australian Transport Safety Bureau, involved multiple countries and extensive use of sonar technology to map the ocean floor. For over 3 years, search crews combed the ocean's depths. They covered over 120,000 square kilometers but found no trace of MH370. Then, in January 2017, the search was officially called off without locating the main wreckage. The discovery of debris. Despite the failed search in the Indian Ocean, small fragments believed to belong to MH370 began appearing along the African coast and islands in the Indian Ocean. The first piece of debris, a flaperon, a control surface from the wing of a Boeing 777, was discovered on the French island of Réunion in July 2015. Over time, additional pieces, including parts of the plane's wing and fuselage, were found in places like Madagascar and Mozambique. These discoveries confirmed that MH370 had crashed into the Indian Ocean. But with only a few pieces recovered and no signs of the main wreckage, these findings provided limited clues as to what actually happened during the flight. Theories and speculation. Since the disappearance, there have been numerous theories about what may have happened. Let's discuss some of the main ones. 1. Mechanical failure. Some believe that MH370 suffered a sudden and catastrophic mechanical failure. This theory suggests that the crew may have lost control of the plane, leading it to fly off course until it ran out of fuel. However, critics argue that if this were the case, the plane's emergency locator transmitters should have sent signals, which they didn't. 2. Hijacking or terrorism. Another theory is that MH370 was hijacked or taken over by someone on board. Some have speculated that terrorists could have seized control of the plane and flown it to a secret location. Yet, no terrorist group claimed responsibility, and there is no direct evidence supporting this theory. 3. Pilot involvement. One of the more controversial theories is that Captain Zahari deliberately diverted and crashed the plane. Supporters of this theory point to the captain's personal life, mentioning that he was reportedly dealing with personal issues. However, Zahari's family and friends reject this idea, stating that he was a dedicated professional with a solid reputation. 4. Electrical fire. Another possibility is that a fire broke out, incapacitating the crew and passengers. In this scenario, the plane might have continued on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. This theory also struggles to explain the intentional westward turn after the transponder was turned off. 5. The Inmarsat data. Inmarsat, the British satellite telecommunications company, played a crucial role in analyzing the pings from the plane to determine its likely flight path. But some theorists argue that the Inmarsat data might have been misinterpreted or is incomplete, suggesting that the true location of MH370 could be elsewhere. Each theory has its own strengths and weaknesses, but none can fully explain the mystery of MH370's disappearance. Recent developments. While the official search ended in 2017, there have been some recent developments. In 2018, a US-based company called Ocean Infinity launched a new search using advanced underwater technology. They focused on a different area of the Indian Ocean, based on refined drift analysis of the debris. Unfortunately, this search was also unsuccessful, leaving the mystery unsolved. In 2020, a new hypothesis emerged, proposing that MH370 could be located in an area slightly north of the original search zone. However, as of today, no additional searches have been confirmed. Conclusion. 10 years after MH370 disappeared, the world is still without answers. For the families of the 239 passengers and crew, closure remains elusive. The fragments found along the Indian Ocean only confirm the plane's tragic end but reveal little about what caused this catastrophe. MH370 remains one of the greatest mysteries in modern aviation. It has reshaped global aviation safety standards, but the full story of what happened on that fateful night is still lost. Until the wreckage is found or more definitive evidence emerges, MH370 remains a heartbreaking enigma, one that has left a lasting impact on aviation history. Closing remark. Thank you for joining us in exploring the mystery of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. If you're interested in learning more about unsolved mysteries in aviation, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos. We hope that one day, the families of those lost on MH370 will find the answers they deserve.